Hey everyone. So this is part 2 of the Copilot Studio Agents beginner series. So in this part 2, you're going to learn a bit more advanced topics compared to the previous one. Here you're going to learn about classic orchestration versus generative AI orchestration. We're going to add a different knowledge source along with the public website. We're going to add a data verse into it, and we're going to test multiple types of conversational style, what you can do with the agent to, and each responses are quite different compared to the previous one. Again, this is a totally beginner series. I highly encourage you to watch part 1 first, because this is a continuation from that. I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. Now let us go and learn about additional components like entities in Microsoft Copilot Studio. So to find entities, go to your Copilot Studio, and if you are building an agent, you can click on this ellipsis to find settings. Go under the settings of the agent, and on the left hand side navigation under settings you can find entities. So first let me quickly explain what this entity is. Basically, Copilot Studio uses this natural language understanding to interpret what user is saying to try to match a user's utterance with an existing topic. So if a user say that I try to use a gift card but it doesn't work, the agent knows to route the user to the topic that's related to the gift cards which is not working, even if that exact phrase isn't listed as a trigger phrase. This concept can also be referred to as intent recognition. So there are two types of entities. One is pre-built. On the right hand side you can see that there are quite a lot of pre-built entities. So this represent the most used information such as age, color, number, name, and Microsoft Copilot Studio can recognize these entities automatically. Then additionally, you can see there are custom entities as well. These entities that are the one which is created by us when you create the agent, while the pre-built entities cover common used information type. Sometimes we need to create and teach agent natural language understanding model based on a domain specific knowledge. For instance, you might need to create a list of product type, because if the agent is designed to automatically find some information of a product, the pre-built entities might not be sufficient, so you need to give that additional information. So you might create that, or to look for a specific phrase or patterns, like for a support ticket or like an order number, things like that. So first, let's look into what is a closed list entity. So I'm going to click on this order action, and this is a closed list entity. So before I select, let me quickly show you that. So if you look at the right hand side, the method of this particular entity is closed list, and this particular user is the one who created it. I used it to create it for this particular agent. So I didn't provide any description, but let's go and open the order action closed list entity. So if you notice, this is the entity what we have used in the previous example. So if you watch the part 1 of the video, we created a custom agent using Copilot Studio, and we have gone through different settings within topics and things like that. And one of these entities we've used within the question node, and within the question we had like an option where the user need to ask to list item, and there was 3 options for the order and things like that. So that's where we used this entity. These were the things, were the options like update, check, and cancel. Additionally, you can add synonyms to it. Like for example, for check, I can add a synonym called status as well. Click on add and click done, save. So now instead of check, if somebody uses status also, that recognizes that that is meant for checking the status of an order. So that's how it can interpret. So under the method, you can see smart matching, and the toggle is turned on, which will help match any sort of misspelling, grammar variation, and words with similar meanings. And you can see that under method, it says that it's a list. So this agent will try to match an item on the list based on what customer says. So that's why it is called a closed list. Now let's close this. Now the next type is regex. So I have two regex entity. Regex is a short for regular expression. So let's open one, the order number. Here you can see that the pattern what we have given is ORD dash a number with 6-digit number. This is what we have provided in the part one of the video. So when we were testing that agent, once I provided an order number, so I provided like ORD dash and some number to have a conversation with the agent, and agent understood it and it started responding back to me with other questions. So this could be useful for identifying order number, support ticket number, or anything that follows a set of pattern for the agent to take appropriate action. So you can see other examples listed here and things like that. Let's close it. So if you want to look at a pre-built agent, click on a pre-built agent. Similarly, you can see this particular pre-built agent is to detect age of a person, place, or a thing to an exact extracted as a number. So if somebody says I'm 19 years old, it is going to extract a say value called 19. If someone says she is 10-month old, it's going to take the 10 as the saved value. What are the other things you can do within the settings? So on the settings tab, you can see on the top, we have the agent details. This is where you can update the agent display name. So if I click on it, you can update the agent display name. You can update or change the icon. You can modify any sort of advanced settings. This is where you can choose to replace the more classic natural language understanding approach for topic triggering and entity extraction with one that based on a large language model to do multi-intent detection and more complex entity extraction. So we will see an example of that soon. This is where you can configure content moderation settings. So you can see that how strict you would like to have the content moderation be. So for this agent, we've set it as high or more precise. So you can play around with this, like fine tuning the content moderation to see how the agent is behaving. Other option is security. This is where you can share your agent with other users to co-author it or with a security group to use it. And this is also where you can configure end-to-end authentication settings and choose other things like web channel security. This is going to allow you to further secure the direct line channel that used for any web or custom application. Authoring can works, we talked about that in the part one of the video. Entities, we talked just now. Skills, this is where you can register external bot framework skill that your Copilot agent can call, and where you can configure how existing Azure Service Bot can use your Copilot Studio as a skill. So we will look into this example in the future video. This is where you can configure custom language models deployed and trained on Azure AI language in Azure Conversational Language Understanding.